Attending a conference to be in the space and network is good, but when you're paying $800, you have to have a goal and you have to be focused. Hi guys, welcome to Pivot and Profit with Priscilla Grant. Today I want to talk to you about how I got into government contracting and some of the tools that have helped me to win some of the government contracts that I have. First of all, we purchased a laundromat. I purchased a laundromat with the idea of having a business that earned passive income. I thought having a laundromat would allow me to just make money while at home and I didn't have to do much work. So when we purchased this laundromat, we went in and we made a lot of changes. We painted, we changed the machinery from coin to card. We allowed people to start the machines with their mobile phones. They could add an app, everything. For whatever reason, that didn't track with our customer base. We didn't do any research. We didn't put any work in on the back end to figure out if this was something that our customers actually wanted, and it wasn't. So we weren't making money. We were barely breaking even every month. So I started to look for a new customer base. We started with offering laundry services to people that own Airbnbs, picking up their sheets and their towels and doing laundry for them. That wasn't as lucrative as we thought. So then I thought about government contracting. I met with a consultant who charged me $300 an hour to basically sit down and tell me that there was no way I could get into government contracting unless I knew somebody. I had to know somebody in the government space or somebody in those government organizations that would help me get a contract. So that was a pretty devastating meeting because I actually had to pay him $300 for those comments. So I left out of that meeting and I just started doing my own research. The first thing I did was sign my business up on sam.gov. Sam.gov is basically where all federal contractors have to be registered in order to bid on government contracts. So once I got signed up on sam.gov, I had to get something that was called a DUNS number. Right now, they're no longer using DUNS number. They use UEI numbers. But basically, it's an identifier for your business. Once I did that, I started to look into certifications. I've learned a lot about certifications, and certifications have helped me stand out in the government space. So certifications are basically, they're identifiers that you can use to set your business apart from other businesses, to basically tell the government, hey, I'm a minority in this space and I deserve to get contracts as well. So one of my certifications is that I'm a woman-owned business. So being a woman-owned business, there are actually contracts that are set aside specifically for women. The government has an issue right now of not giving enough contracts to women, to veterans, to minorities. So one of their initiatives is to give more of those contracts to people with those certifications. I applied for my own certifications. There are organizations that will help you apply for your certifications. Many of them charge between $400 to $500. It's free if you do it yourself. However, it is a lot of paperwork. It can be complicated at times, but you can get through it. So I got my economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business certification. That's EDWOSB. I have my service disabled veteran-owned small business certification because I am a veteran and I do have a disability rating. Now, if you don't have a disability rating, you can get your VOSB, veteran-owned small business certification. Those are all federal certifications. There are also state certifications. For the state of Georgia, I have my MBE, which is my Minority Business Enterprise. I have my DBE, which is my Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. And I also have an ACDBE, which is an Airport Concession Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. So these are all the certifications I have that are attached to my business. One of my first contracts, I didn't even bid on. I literally have my business set up on sam.gov. I have my certifications listed, and I had a contract officer reach out to me for contract at the VA hospital to do laundry. It was as simple as an email. I missed it for the first couple of days. And as I was scrolling through my email, I saw it. I honestly didn't even know if it was legit because I didn't think the government would reach out to people and just offer contracts, but they do it all the time. So he sent me an email just basically asking, hey, I saw your profile in SAM. I see that you do laundry. I see that you are a veteran as well. Are you capable of providing this service to the VA? I responded. I said, I definitely am. And it went from there. I have that contract to this day. Another contract that I actually received via email for a military base here in Georgia. Same thing. I have been contacted by the Treasury to do laundry. You'd be surprised what organizations want you to do laundry and certain things in their space. Honestly, a lot of the contracts that I actually bid on, I don't get. But I have gotten contracts just showing up in the space, saying that my business is here. I'm a woman, I'm a veteran, and I'm a minority, and I can do this type of work. So let's discuss a little bit about what showing up in the space means. One, being registered on SAM. You cannot bid on government contracts. You cannot have a government contract without being on sam.gov. Another thing is having your certifications, just as I stated. Another way is you also need a website. You need a professional looking website. Your website needs to showcase who you are, what you do. You need to have all your information on it, your UEI number, your cage code, which are all things you're going to get when you sign up on sam.gov. Your location. Having a mailbox is not good enough. I started by having a mailbox, and there were times when people would reach out to me and say, hey, where are you located? I need a physical location, a physical address. One of the first contracts that I won before they awarded me the contract, even though they offered it to me, they went out to look at our laundromat. We weren't there, but he went to the laundromat and he walked around the laundromat and he let me know that. So having a physical space or location shows the government that you are real. Another thing that we do is we attend conferences. Now, conferences can be expensive. So just attending a bunch of conferences just to be there can turn out to not be beneficial, because that's kind of what we started off doing. Some of these conferences can cost $700, $800 to attend. So when it comes to conferences, let's talk a little bit about how I hone in on which conferences are beneficial for me. A great way to start when it comes to government contracting, because there are so many contracts, government contracting can be federal, it can be state, it can be county, and there are city contracts as well. So let's focus on the federal space. For me, because there are so many organizations in the federal space, I have to find out which organizations need my services the most, as well as which organizations are likely going to set aside contracts for myself based on the certifications I have. Because I'm a veteran, the VA is my primary organization. Being a veteran in the VA makes it more likely for me to get contracts set aside specifically for veterans, and it gets me preference a little bit. Another organization that I focus on are military bases. And military bases are usually under GSA, I believe. But military bases are good for veterans as well. So I try to attend conferences where I know the VA is going to be, or I know that military organizations are going to be. I also try to attend these conferences with a purpose. The conferences usually list who's going to be there, what speakers are going to be there, what information is going to be given out, as well as allowing you to schedule one-on-one meetings with these people. So attending a conference to be in the space and network is good, but when you're paying $800, you have to have a goal and you have to be focused. So attending the conference with that goal in mind and not just networking is going to be the most beneficial thing for you. So I'm looking to have a one-on-one meeting with the head of the VA. I'm looking to sit in on the meeting that the military base is actually holding or the speaker is going to be speaking at. So this is going to be the best way to choose which conferences you're going to go to. And when it comes to finding these conferences, a quick Google search will help you, but also sometimes I just go into ChatGPT and say, hey, can you give me a list of the government conferences that are going to be coming up, the locations and the dates? You could even ask ChatGPT, hey, what are the speakers at this conferences? Which ones are going to be the most beneficial for me to attend based on my industry? It's a great way to plan out your year, so you can get ahead of attending these conferences and preparing for them. I got into government contracting because I needed a new customer. I had alienated my customer by going into that laundromat and changing everything and not even understanding if the change was what they wanted. So I found a new customer. I made the government my customer. You too can make the government your customer. The government doesn't do much on its own. It contracts out everything from the software that they use, from the personnel that's cleaning their business, from administrative staff. If you do HR, if you do real estate, if you make widgets, whatever you make, the government is willing to purchase, and whatever services you offer, they are willing to pay you for. So don't ever think you're in an industry where you can't make the government your consumer as well. I do want to let you guys know that I will be creating a checklist to help wrap some of this stuff up. I understand that it can be a lot of information. So I will have a checklist that can help you understand how to get into government contracting, what websites you need to go to, where you can go to sign up for your own certifications as well, and just how you can get into this space and become a government contractor as well. I do want to thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this information has been beneficial to you, and I'll see you next time.